Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is a reading that I thought I would bring back. I haven't done it since last fall or winter. Um, it's the individual reading for the masculine and the feminine, um, singles or those that are in separation and, obviously might be reuniting. Um, this is for those that are probably destined to be life partners, etc. Or maybe it's someone you have yet to meet. But this is the individual reading for the masculine. It's going to be for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to start doing these bi-weekly. Um, and it's to kind of help you with you. Any negative thoughts or feelings that you might be having about yourself, how we can turn those around. Um, This is kind of part shadow work kind of reading, I guess. This is whatever challenge, lesson, or obstacle that you might be needing to deal with in order to manifest your greatest and best. Is this siren coming this way or? And the only thing that's a little bit different compared to how I used to do it before I would just say what are any, blocks, challenges, or chakras in my night to work on. And I think I would only take 4 cards, whatever they kicked out, 4 cards. But this time I decided to do each individual chakra, and what within that individual chakra do you need to work on, because I feel like that gives a more detailed thing. And it helps with all your chakras, right? And then we have some positive affirmations or thoughts that you can have in regards to your current situation or state of being, some more advice from Spirit. This is what you might be dealing with in the next 2 weeks in regards to love. And here at the end, we'll have you focus on one card, and whatever card you pick, that is your advice in regards to, your destined path or life purpose or possible career options for you. Please keep in mind the readings are general. So as I always say, take what resonates and leave the rest. Also keep in mind that masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender. So again, if this doesn't resonate with you, check the feminine reading if you're a male, or vice versa. I was going to throw that out. But more than likely, we're keeping with the theme of the weeklies and the monthlies, from what I can see here. But it's just more for you individually, trying to help you in the feminine individually. Let's start with your negative thoughts and feelings. Something we might need to address. My weight is always a struggle. My digestive tract is sensitive to stress. And that's handsome running around in his wheel. I have healthy self-esteem in multiple areas of my life. I am satisfied with my ability to fit into a family, a relationship, and a career. I feel good about my intellect and my ability to have a voice in the world. This is healthy body. So, my weight is always a struggle. My digestive tract is sensitive to stress. Now, you could be underweight because you're overly stressed, or you might have packed on a few pounds because we've been indulging in food and drink and whatever to kind of drown our sorrows, perhaps, to have a release to our stress. So whatever end of the spectrum you fall on, there's a need to kind of get healthy in this regard. Try to alleviate some stresses that you might be having, or the tendencies again to not eat or overeat or overindulge in other things that's somehow having a negative effect on your body. And when we do that, when we get in balance with ourselves, with our emotions and our physical well-being, our mental and emotional, then we have healthy self-esteem. We feel good about ourselves. We start to have courage and enthusiasm and, again, confidence to pursue things, because we feel better. We feel that we are coming into any situation with much to offer, again, because we feel good about ourselves. So this again is about working on our physical way of being, our mental and emotional ways of being, building up our self-esteem, having courage, again, focusing on healing and manifesting. And then I feel empty and alone unless I'm with someone. This is healing sadness. I love and honor both the times I am alone as well as the times I have loving support. Now, this card could represent a couple of things. Being too much in the woes, isolating ourselves, not participating in life or seeking out new relationships due to whatever some stuff that we might have gone through. So again, the difference between loneliness and being alone. And also, when I speak in the weekly readings and the monthly readings about codependency issues, people entering into relationships for codependent reasons, whether that's to fill a void, which is fears of being alone, which stem from childhood wounding. Perhaps you were abandoned, perhaps you were neglected, perhaps you were in an abusive situation, whatever it was, there was an instability in the home, which caused you to feel not safe, not loved, not valued, lonely, neglected. So in your adult relationships, this is somehow manifested where you might be a serial relationship type person where you bounce from relationship to relationship to relationship just because you fear being alone. You need love or attention or to feel, because that makes you feel healed, worthy, because you didn't get it as a kid. So you need to always be with somebody that's giving that to you, so that feeds into that wound or pacifies that wound, because it makes us feel special and wanted, because you felt unwanted and unspecial as a child. So in that respect, if we're jumping into relationships for codependent reasons, fears of being alone and or financial codependency, someone else paying the way, us not applying ourselves, sticking in the woeses or making excuses or sticking in the wounding again, not doing the shadow work, not realizing why things are the way they are in our lives. The common denominator is you. So wherever you are in your life, whatever way you feel about that, it's due to your own actions and choices. And those actions and choices stem from our beliefs in ourselves and what we feel that we deserve. And that's why we find ourselves in a lot of dysfunctional relationships, again, because this is karma. This is something that's trying to bring you attention to yourself. You can't jump into relationships for codependent reasons, because that's not what love looks like. That's an unhealthy viewpoint on love, or faking love even, just to get needs met or just to not be alone. Again, being there but not fully there due to whatever wounding there is. But there is a need to heal this part of you that cannot be alone, that it actually physically and emotionally and mentally makes you in a state of dis-ease. The idea of it is again, it's fear-based. You should be able to feel content whether you're alone or you're with someone. Um, because that means that you're whole and you're healed within yourself, and you're not looking for something outside of yourself in order to, again, fill a void, meet a need, to make you feel not like crap, perhaps, or again, of trying to make things out not that bad. It's a lot of times it's when you're alone, it's reality, and you spend a lot of time with yourself. And if you don't like yourself and you don't love yourself, then being alone with yourself to think about a lot of stuff that maybe you shouldn't be thinking about, again, because when you're alone, you get a lot of time to think. And you can start thinking about your regrets and your failures and your whatever it is. Or again, it's just that childhood wound kicking in. Um, but there is a need to heal that codependency of needing to be in a relationship, because when you're not in one, you feel stress and anxiety and just lost and a mess, and like, it's a need to find independence, self-sufficiency, love for thyself. Give yourself the love you didn't receive. Treat yourself as you would have liked the little version of you to be treated. That's going to be a big help for you if you tend to feel this way when you're by yourself, because again, you're running into relationships to fill a void or to meet a need, and that has to come from within. Otherwise, anytime that situation outside of you or a person outside of you that you're looking to have that from, that validation, that feeling of worthiness, anytime if that changes or leaves, you're going to be feeling like that, empty and just a mess. And that has to be healed. And then we have, since something ended, my life has gotten stuck in a rut. This kind of goes with feeling empty and alone, and letting ourselves go a little bit, or being physically affected by our experience here. It says, I now have an opportunity to move through my fears of failure and can give birth to satisfying work, wealth, and relationships. Now, some masculines who are separated from who is meant to be their life partner, or person that they're going to go through another cycle with, another soul, the same soulmate that they left, and they entered into a codependent relationship because, again, they didn't want to be alone. They needed some kind of financial help as well, so they jumped into this. But while they were in this, they've come to their epiphanies. They've learned some lessons, realizing what they lost. So this kind of can come into play for that group of people, or for people that are just, going to be meeting some new soulmate. But when that ended, regardless of whether you jumped into another situation or not, when you jumped into the other situation where you could continue in the karma of the codependency and all the stuff, that the lessons you didn't learn the first time around, you might have been just doing a lot of nothing, being stagnant, coasting along, not really investing in yourself or whatever. And now you're kind of feeling the effects of that, realizing that something's got to change, something's got to give. So you could be in another relationship and be in a rut because, since the other situation ended, or this is just since something ended in general. It could be a job, it could be whatever it was. But since that's ended, you've been in a rut. Perhaps again, being all in the emotional stuff, not really paying attention to our health. Um, and again, could have jumped into something so that we wouldn't feel empty and alone. Because when we are with us, we feel, unless we're with somebody, whatever. Or you ended and you've been by yourself and single, and this applies. Um, so either way, you've been kind of stagnant. And then we have here, even if I speak my mind, it never changes anything, so why bother? This is healing sadness. I now effectively communicate the clarity in my mind to everyone around me. So this is, again, being clear with ourselves, what we want, what we don't want, what we'll settle for, what we won't settle for, what we can live with and what we can't, what we can live without, or what we can't live without. And obviously, a lot of masculines can't live without the feminine that they left behind. So again, this is about being clear in our judgments and our desires and our wishes and our hopes and our direction, and standing in our truth, speaking our truth, and not letting fear hold us back, not letting stinking thinking hold us back, or disbelief in our own self or our own abilities keep us back or keep us from saying what we need to say, doing what we need to do, not being pessimistic and hopeless, lacking faith. You know, it's about trying to have some confidence and courage within yourself. So again, say what you got to say, do what you got to do, but stand in your truth. Speak the truth, because it serves yourself an injustice and anyone else an injustice if you don't. It only leads to more depression and stagnation and woes. And we don't want that. We want to heal. We want to get going. We want to live and learn. We want to apply what we've learned and move towards our hopes, our dreams, you know, a person that we love, if that's the case, or towards a healthier relationship. But again, the relationship with the self has to be healthy first. So get clear and don't be discouraged. And then we have, if I'm in love with someone, we are soulmates and meant to be together forever. This is healthy love. A living relationship has a life of its own. Some relationships last forever, and others are meant to only serve a need during a specific stage of our lives. So this again is reason, season, and lifetime people. And knowing the difference. Understanding that, you know, sometimes things last, you know, soulmates relationship lasts, and sometimes they don't. But again, it's about going with the ebb and flow, allowing cycles to end and new ones to begin, especially if the cycles were karmic. And again, and some masculines might have some anxiety and fear and stress about having to leave their current situation, having to hurt that person, staying out of somewhat, I want to say obligation, but for those reasons, it's kind of I know the masculine's been a little bit all over the place, not happy in their current situation, wanting to go back to the person that they left, but did so much damage on that side that they're unsure if they'll be taken back, because again, they handled things the wrong way, jumped into a codependent situation, but now feels bad that they're going to have to leave that person. So they've been kind of, and probably financially having issues, stuck between a rock and a hard place. And no wonder you're you're all over the place. But again, with knowing which is which, there are karmic soulmates, and then there are, life partner soulmates, or your twin flame, or whatever. And again, if you're unhappy in a situation, or it's time to change, or it's time to leave, or whatever it is, be willing to stand in your truth, speak your truth, be clear in your mind and your intentions, in your speech, in your actions, being honest with yourself and others. Again, allowing cycles to end, new ones to start, not letting fear hold us back, not letting it affect our health, not being afraid to be alone regardless of an outcome, not allowing ourselves to stay stuck in ruts, be a co-creator, invest in yourself, in your life, in your future. Now, here, I don't know what my true calling is in life. And this is healthy goals. Through contemplation, introspection, and completion, I can find out what my next step in true calling is. By attending to details and organizing my life, my vocation will become clear. So this is, again, getting clear, going within, figuring out what it is that we want to do. What can we do? What are our next steps? How do I manifest? How do I get out of my own way? What is my heart telling me? Where's my soul leading me? What's my intuition guiding me towards? What destiny is my perfect destiny? But action, thought also requires action. So we can't sit in our thoughts too much. We can't stay in ruts. We got to try to figure it out and get moving, get hustling. Whatever your heart and soul and intuition is calling you towards, then that is where you need to go. Because it's got you all over the place. Stressed out, depressed. It's being at peace with whatever was, whatever is now, and what can be. Just allowing the feminine had the same kind of message. It's about being open to change, transition, and not fearing it. Not living a life of fear and unresolved childhood wounds that causes one to self-sabotage and self-destruct. But again, all is a lesson. It's karma. It's what you came here to learn and to shed. However many times it takes you, however long of a time it takes you, as long as you get it, eventually you pass the class, you graduate, you move on to something bigger and better. So as soon as you allow that to happen, release what needs to be released. Again, love yourself enough to want that for yourself, to invest in yourself. Think positive, and in order to have great things, it takes great effort and belief, and risk taking. So follow what your intuition's telling you, follow what your heart is telling you, follow wherever your soul is calling you to. It's doing it for a reason, and it's to get you out of this stagnation. Now we have what challenge, lesson, obstacle, block. We have the ringmaster of scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, and details. See, it kind of reiterates here. Get clear. Figure it out. Number 9. No more codependency, masculine, in any way. The ringmaster scrutiny is all about the details. Look closely and pay attention to the smallest elements of what's being presented to you on your path. It's in these details, not the broad strokes, that you'll find the breathtaking beauty and perfection in what you observe. This ally is on your side to point to the deeper meaning of what unfolds in your life, and he reminds you that every moment counts. Staying present in this perfect moment, observing the minute things, leads you to manifest your highest good and greatest desires. Grand gestures are for other times. It's the smallest acts that really count now. So it's about, any little effort is some effort. Doesn't have to be big and grand. It's just a conscious effort every day to do something to change your life, because you're obviously not happy with the way it is right now. And know again that everything happens for a reason. Get the lesson, apply the lesson, and use it to lead you to manifest your highest and best, to become your highest and best. Again, see the deeper meaning behind it all. But be in the present moment, not fearing of the future, not in the woes of the past. What actions can I take today? What can I say today? What can I do to change my situation? Right? So pay attention to what's being presented to you on your path. Again, this is all about the lessons. Everything's here to teach you something. And then we have the crown chakra. This is your higher knowing here. Impartiality. Inspiration message. Take an impartial look at your situation. The action here is to listen and observe. Personal inquiry. If I step back from my present situation, what do I see? Can I be neutral? Key ideas. Neutral position, allowing things to unfold. Standing in another's shoes. Uplifted communication. Keywords. Guide, open-minded, and fairness. This is, again, seeing both sides of the coin. Holding oneself accountable for our actions. Both people doing that. Take an impartial look. Again, seeing the reason why all things happen. It needed to happen to get you to the point that you're at. And what's happening now is to get you to where you need to go next. Again, seeing the bigger picture. Allowing things to unfold. Again, it's not trying to be controlling out of fear. Allow things to unfold. Allow change to happen. And also be fair to yourself and to other people. Again, don't stay in situations that you're in for the wrong reasons, because you're hurting yourself and you're hurting that other person. Also be clear in why you want to go back to somebody else. Again, check one's motives and thoughts. Make sure our agenda is on the up and up, and we're not, again, just bouncing from person to person because we're afraid of being alone, or we're looking to have some kind of help, or whatever it is. Again, know what you want, what you don't want, what's worth fighting for, what's not. All the things that I said before. Be clear in your intention of the why. Again, look at things from the big picture perspective. But also, again, be fair to yourself and to others. Stand in another's shoes. Again, seeing things from another person's perspective as well. having empathy for somebody else. Uplifted communication, this is about positive, positive communication. And being open-minded, again, not closed-minded about the future. Shutting stuff down before it even comes into play. And then with third eye chakra, recovery. Inspiration. Once the key has been used to open the door, you will have a new way of living, one without keys. Where you are heading, there are no locks. Personal inquiry. It is time to recover a part of me that has been dormant. Am I ready to live an inspired future? Key ideas. Facing fears. Wounding is strength. Courage to face pain. Awakening greatness. Keywords. Genuineness, regeneration, and understanding. So this is, again, getting back parts of us that we've let lie dormant for too long. This is about being genuine. Again, regeneration. Out with the old, in with the new and improved version of ourselves, gaining a higher understanding, facing our fears, knowing, again, whatever we went through is the pains that we felt, it was needed in order to grow, and give us strength and courage to face whatever's coming next. It's to awaken the greatness within you. And it's asking, are you ready to live an inspired future? Or are we just going to stay in the kaka and the woes? Now, it's about recovering ourselves. Pain from our past unlocks the door of understanding. Again, it's seeing both sides, understanding another person's feelings, understanding how our words, our actions, our choices affected other people, not just ourselves. Again, learning these lessons and applying them. Then we have vanity. It's all about the ego, and this is the throat chakra. We all say we will stop when we've had enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. Again, we can't do that. Can't feel empty and alone unless you're with someone. Can't be looking for someone else to make us feel like we're worthy. The validation has to come from within. You can't get it from other people. You can't get it from material goods. Because if any of those things leave, then you're left feeling less than or inadequate in some way. Validation comes from within. And we'll stop when we have enough, but there's never enough. Again, this is like about procrastinating or putting off something because we don't want to deal with the consequence of it. And a need to not be worrying so much about I'm going to say, that's not the way I want to say it. Not being worried about so much of, I should say, again, staying in something for the wrong reason. Because we're worried about that, what it's going to affect that person. Again, because unless you're living in truth, unless you're in integrity, unless you're doing what you feel is right for you, unless you're happy, there's an injustice being done to everyone involved. So it's just saying, so don't let that keep you in fear mode of moving forward into a new phase, a new journey, a new path that that you should be going on. This is environmental tension, living in illusions, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, and empty conversations. So maybe there's some conversations that need to be had that have some sustenance to them, some meaning, some depth, some truth, not just empty conversations. Need to not have self-doubt. Take back your power. Be willing to embrace change. You know, get out of situations again that are causing us stress and anxiety and worry. Stop living in illusions. Stop living in deceptions too. You know, the masculine is all about deceptions. You know, living lies, living a life of lies, wearing masks. Like that stuff's got to go. It says, am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? Well, you should be growing away from limiting relationships. Anything that's karmic is limiting. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in a cycle. It's keeping that wounding, thriving, and just making everything and everybody miserable. You know, anything that's limiting you, limiting your growth, you need to get out of. You know, it's all about expansion. And if you are feeling disconnected from many people in your life, maybe you need to speak up. Maybe you need to say something, to speak some truth, open up some lines of communication. Key ideas, I read that one. Keywords, faith, awareness, and transformation. Again, transformation. It's like the death card. Let things go that no longer serve you. Let cycles end, karmic cycles end, and embrace your destiny. Have faith. Gain a higher awareness. And then we have grief for the heart chakra. Inspiration, Penelope and Pickle. That's the lady and the dog in the picture. Remind us that what we reveal, we can heal. Give yourself time. You will love again. If you honor your pain, it will change your life. Personal inquiry, is lingering grief preventing me from progress? What can I see in my heart? Key ideas, feeling grief, healing process, missing someone or something, being unafraid of sadness. Love is on the horizon. Keywords, love, commitment, and vulnerability. So this is about opening up. This is about being committed to ourself, our healing, our journey, and relationships, if that's what you're looking for. It's also about allowing healing to take place. Again, especially if conversations need to be had, heart-to-heart conversations comes out a lot. I know the masculines wanting to say something. So, you know, letting things be left unsaid, letting there be lack of clarity, letting people think one way if you're feeling another way. It's like there's a need to open up and allow healing to happen. Again, speak a truth. Because love could be on the horizon. You know, and again, and not fearing rejection. So that's what over here, even if I speak my mind, nothing changes. Why bother? It's like, well, what if I say something and now it's too late? It's like, it doesn't matter. It's about you at least putting yourself out there, taking the risk. You got to take the chance. You got to speak up to know what's possible. You got to make moves. You got to get out of situations you don't want to be in to find out what's possible. You know, and if you're in a situation that ended and you're not moving towards something else, then have faith, you know, that something better will come along, as long as we are better. If we're not healed, then we're just going to attract the same situation. That's why it's always important. Heal thyself before you love anybody, or try to, or enter into any relationships. And again, no more codependent situations. Learn to be independent. Get a roommate. You don't need to be in a relationship to pay the bills. You know, this is just, unless you're, again, filling a void that you need a romantic partner for. Again, heal thyself. Say this to the feminine too. Two broken halves don't make a whole. Right? And then we have miracle. Because you should believe in miracles. This is the solar plexus. Inspiration. Do you let someone in or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. Personal inquiry. The essence of inspiration is integrity. Can I be counted on? Key ideas. Being a light, lighting the way for others, coming miracles. Keywords, integrity, gifts, and rewards. So in order to have the gifts that the universe wants to give you, we have to be a person of integrity, of truth. You know, it's being open to the current miracles. The coming miracles. You know, can you be counted on? Are you a person who's going to be loyal, dependable, reliable, considerate, empathetic, truthful, committed? All the things that are relationship requirements. You know, again, check your motives and thoughts. Make sure if you are leaving something to go back to someone else, make sure that your intentions are right and for the right reasons, not for the same old ones, because it's no bueno. Or even again, if you ended something and you're looking to meet somebody new, make sure that we come in right, come correct, as they say. You know, don't be fearful to open your heart and let someone in, because the walls we put up also keep people out, keep out good things. And then guilt. Oh, you gotta love the guilt, right? Guilt, sacral, yes, sacral chakra. Inspiration, do not do for others what they need to do for themselves. Speak truth from your heart. Honesty is freedom. Any guilt is fear of being disliked. Personal inquiry, am I giving away too much time and energy and resenting it? Is my anger really guilt? Key ideas, self-care, burdened by obligations, enabling others, finding personal power. Keywords, awareness, awakening, release. Now, guilt. Guilt of our own behaviors and actions. Guilt of, you know, what we've done to the past person. Guilt of what we've done to the present person. You know, whatever it is that's needing to be healed and released, and that comes from truth, from honesty. You know, because again, it can manifest. We can be snappy and angry and depressed, but it's our guilt eating away at us, affecting us. You know, again, self-care, feeling burdened by obligations. Again, what we need to do, what we know we need to do, feeling the strain and burden of it, and the fear of it. Finding personal power. Again, finding your strength, finding your courage, finding your personal power to take back control of your life. Speak the truth from your heart. Again, honesty is freedom. Any guilt is fear of being disliked. Again, so we feel like we don't want to say something because we're afraid of how we're going to look. But hey, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't, and it ain't what it could be, right? Truth is always best, because it's a heavy burden when you lie. Can't keep your story straight. Plus, again, you know that it's wrong. So again, honesty is freedom. And it says giving away too much time and energy and resenting it. I don't know if you feel like you're starting to resent someone or something right now, because it's something that you're not wanting to really invest in. So now you're feeling resentful because you want to get out of it. And this just says, is my anger really guilt? Well, because we're in the situation we're in because that's what we chose, right? So you can't be angry at them. We're going to be angry with ourselves. That's here enabling others, but it's also about, it says finding personal power. It's also about not letting others enable us. You know, again, if we're in our karmic stuff, in our shadow self, if we're jumping from person to person, we're looking for someone to enable us, for us to continue in what the ego wants to keep you stuck in. But this is the karma, this is the lesson. So it's to find your personal power and not enable others, and not allow others to enable you, because again, it doesn't allow for growth. You know, that's just keeping people stagnant in their karma. That's why these soulmate relationships, the twin flames, where they seem really difficult, because they're always holding up the mirror. And people don't want to look in the mirror, so that's why you always have the person running and the person chasing too. I mean, they need to look in the mirror why they're chasing. It's all about what is that person reflecting back to me that I'm needing to wake up to. Um, and that's what these situations, that's what these things are all about. These soulmate relationships. It's about mirrors, people holding up mirrors, or us finding ourselves in situations with the same things, same problems, but different people. It's like, well, the common denominator is us, right? We keep entering into the same thing, looking for the same type of partners, the same kind of situations, the same, because maybe we don't want to change it, we don't want to grow, we are not acknowledging that something's dysfunctional here, something isn't right, something isn't, but it's that fear of change, it's that fear of accountability, of responsibility, of growing, of whatever. Sometimes we just want to make excuses for the things that we do. Ends justify the means, or I had to do it because of this, because again, it's just avoiding, the truth about who we are and what we do, why we do what we do, and why things are the way they are in our lives. And again, it all starts from the self. And if you love yourself, you want to do right by yourself, and you'd want to do right by others, right? You'd want to invest in yourself. You'd want to make good, sound judgments, sound choices. You're not going to do things that are hurtful, that are going to keep you stuck, or that don't allow you to grow and expand. Again, it's all lessons, dear. And then we have soulmate. And again, this guilt, it could be guilt from the past situation, and guilt for the present situation of having to leave that. Just feeling all, like I said, all over the place. And then we got soulmate. Inspiration. To enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. Personal inquiry. What truth am I embracing? This card indicates no longer living a lie. Key ideas: speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, resistance to commitment and unexpected outcome, new truths. Keywords are authenticity, treasure, and trust. So, again, this is about soulmates, lessons, learning from them, entering into relationships for the right reasons, for love reasons, not codependent reasons, needs and voids, and childhood wounds. Freedom through transformation, allowing the experience that you went through with the soulmate to transform you, because that's what it's meant to do. Resistance to commitment. You need to be committed to yourself, to your path, to your journey, to your enlightenment, to whatever it is. Don't resist that. Don't hold yourself back from manifesting and becoming your highest and best. Be committed. An unexpected outcome. That's life, right? Things never turn out the way that you want, of how you thought. New truths. Again, discovering new things, new truths, new perspectives within ourselves about things. Again, learning, which is good. It's about trust. Maybe you're needing to try to gain back someone's trust. It's about being trustworthy. It's about having trust in oneself and in the universe and why things happen. It's about being authentic. And it says here, treasure. It's about learning what's valuable, what means something. Again, no longer living a lie, and no longer being deceptive either. No more telling lies. And there you will find your freedom, through allowing this transformation to take place, this transformation within you. and not letting fear keep us from having what you really want. We must risk being pricked by our inner thorns to enjoy the beauty of a rose. And the best incentive to change your situation, if you are looking to reconcile with someone, it is love. If you finally have realized something, and then you need to express that and not be fearful to do that, regardless of the outcome. But you need to do something to know, you know? Because I don't feel like you're very happy in your current situation or current state of being, over everything that's kind of been happening for you. And your advice is your positive words here. I open up to spontaneity and accept change. Again, it's being open to change. I am pure within and honor my own truths. There's another thing about truths. There's a lot of truths needing to be spoken and stepped into. I dare to be honest and speak my own truth. There's another truth. So, honesty. Masculine's been getting that a lot. It's time to be honest with yourself and with others. No more hiding behind deceptions and masks. My dreams become reality as I open myself up to limitless possibilities. It's like believing in what you want, knowing that you deserve it, and going for it. I am willing to find new ways to express my creativity. And maybe you need to find a creative way to get yourself out of a situation, or you might have something that you're meant to do that is creative in nature. So it's your career path, your divine path. Maybe if you're meant to reconcile with a life partner or a twin flame or a soulmate, maybe you're meant to do something together that is creative. Or it's just about investing. Both the masculine and feminine need to invest in themselves. This is a big thing. Healing yourself, the unresolved childhood wounds, learning lessons, investing in your own well-being, mental, emotional, and health, focusing on your career, becoming balanced in the 4 areas of your life that need to be balanced. Again, spirituality, financial, love and relationships, and physical well-being. So we need to get feminine too. As I surrender to what is, each moment is a miracle. Again, it is what it is, it ain't what it ain't, and it ain't what it could be. Allowing things to unfold, going with the flow. Each moment is an opportunity to change something. But you got to put in the effort. We can't be in past and in the future. And we have here, deep within me, this is a picture. Deep within me is a solid core of calm and peace. It's like get in your mind. Don't get in your mind some peace. Don't let people or outside events determine your peace of mind. It's like try to gain some balance within yourself so you can have some clear thinking on what you need to do. I trust in the wisdom of my experiences. It's here. Experience is more powerful than belief. What you were taught when you were a young child may be true or not. When you experience, then you know. This kind of reminds me again of childhood wounding. What you were taught, what did love look like to you? And that's what you believed that it was. Could have been dysfunction, could have been abusive, could have been whatever it is. And you found yourself in repeated cycles of what you witnessed as a child on some level, whether it was your own behavior or the type of partner that you sought out or the dynamic between the two of you. The view on love was askew. And it's only upon realizing those childhood wounds, realizing that that's not what love should look like, Love is about equal give and take. It's about honoring and respecting and cherishing the other person. It's having empathy and compassion and consideration for the other person. Again, it's needing to be honest, no lying, no cheating, not taking advantage, even give and take 50-50. It's about learning what love should look like and how can I be a positive person in the duo. It's not just about attracting the perfect partner or the right partner. It's about becoming the right partner, and that stems from getting right within ourselves, healing ourselves, so that we don't impose our baggage, our karma, our wounding, our conditioning onto someone else who most likely probably has a lot of their own, and that's why you end up in karmic cycles. Knowledge of self goes a long way. And it says, I feel no guilt when I say no to someone. It's better to say no when you need to and to say yes when you want to. Otherwise, anger will creep in and you'll resent the person or the obligation. There's mentioned something about here, the guilt is something, some resentment. So again, you might be resenting your current situation, because you're feeling obligated to stay in it because something might be keeping you there, whether it's all your situation, again, voids and needs, or partly, there's some guilt involved here. And that's why we're afraid to speak up or to say something, to release ourselves from a situation or to go towards another situation. But it's festering. There's something, it needs to be cleared out. That's why there's like, people need to speak up, people need to say something, people need to make some moves, because they're starting to become, depression and just resentments, and maybe feeling frustrated and angry and taking it out on other people because we're not happy. We're not happy here. So you feel no guilt when you say no, or when you say I'm not happy, or I gotta leave, or whatever the situation may be. Or maybe you need to say no to somebody, I don't know. But something needs to be released here so that our next phase can take place. And the advice: tending the garden. Meet Gala, her peculiar flowers bloom in the sun of her nurturing love and care. In a tucked away corner of the forest, she planted a few precious seeds. For months she watered the earth and sang patient love songs. Above the surface, nothing appeared to be happening, so the other kitties didn't understand why she spent so much time in the overlooked spot. Eventually, delicate emerald tendrils peeked out of the soil. Gaia loved and protected them until wondrous blossoms burst forth. What seeds can you nurture in your heart? What gardens are you trying to grow? So it's about, first and foremost, nurturing ourselves, tending to ourselves, our needs, our wants, our desires. That's not in a selfish, self-serving way, but what is for our highest and best. Also about whatever it is you're looking to bring about or hoping to bring about, you got to put in some efforts. You got to plant some seeds, because if you don't put in anything, nothing's going to grow. So it's about investing, giving of oneself in order to manifest what it is that we want. Again, what gardens are you trying to grow? But again, with this above the surface, nothing seemed to be happening. So even in this stagnation, this rut, or this time period where these aha moments, these epiphanies, these realizations, all this stuff was happening, the reason why you're feeling unhappy now, that's your soul telling you it's time to move, it's time to go. Like, you've learned a lesson here. Now it's time to release that and move forward. So it may have seemed like stagnancy, but again, it was necessary. You know, especially if you were separated from someone and you're going to come back to them. Um, or you just found yourself in another karmic situation and you need to move on to something new. Whatever, it all happened for a reason. So while you may think that it was a disaster or nothing seemed to be happening or whatever, something was happening beneath the surface. Changes were happening in you, changes that needed to happen in order to get you into this next phase of the way that you should be, you know, on your way to becoming the best version of you, which is why you're here. So it was necessary. Separation is necessary. You know, karmic situations are necessary. Even though they may suck, they're still necessary, because again, it's a class that you signed up for, and you got to pass it in order to move on to the next grade, next level. So again, everything happens for a reason, but now it's time for you to, again, nurture yourself, heal the things that need to be healed, realize what needs to go, you know, what's been the problem, what is it about me that I need to change, what do I need to work on, now I need to start making moves, you know, where am I investing, what do I want to grow, and putting in that effort, believing in yourself. Not feeling bad if you got to leave something behind to move towards something else. You know, you'll feel the restlessness within yourself. You'll know. Threshold. Speaking of moving forward, meet Sage. She is the queen of the threshold. In or out, out or in. She lingers right at the borderland between worlds. Glancing back, she takes stock of everything she's cherished, everything that has challenged and interested her, and everything that has weighed her down and limited her. She peeks her nose to the door and smells the fresh air of possibility with a swirl of exhilaration. Can you tell I'm tired? With this, my voice is all scratchy too. With a fresh air of possibility, with a swirl of exhilaration and a hint of fear. Perhaps she even tiptoes through. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just had a yawn. Perhaps she even tiptoes through a few times, only to return to her old world for a while. Find peace at the threshold, but don't surrender to the turn back now gargoyles that guard the gateway. When you are ready, you will stride boldly into your new worlds. This is, again, don't let fear hold you back. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of independence, fear of being alone, just in case you can't go back to something else. You know, maybe you need to be alone again. Maybe this is a lesson that you need to learn, to be independent, to not live in fear-based mode, survival mode, fight or flight, you know, taking casualties of war with you as long as we protect ourselves, even though the way we're going about it is wrong and hurtful to other people. Again, it's all lessons, it's all karma, you know, and understanding how it says here, um, you know, tiptoeing a few times to return to her old world for a while. Again, it's that out or in. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay the same, or do I, you know, evolve and change and be accountable for my actions and my choices? Because in the end, my life is the way that it is, or I'm in the place that I am because of them. So it's about accountability too. Taking stock of everything you've cherished, everything that has challenged and interested you, everything that has weighed you down and limited you. Again, self-reflection, lessons, connecting the dots, seeing the patterns, breaking the old habits or old behaviors, anything that's keeping us back, anything that's karmic, anything that's got to go. And don't be afraid to step over the threshold into the new and improved you. And then we have unconditional love. Meet Aiko. She is a soft being of pure love. She is a nest of comfort and compassion. She loves unconditionally and embraces fully without exception. She transmutes pain and failure into blessings and wisdom. When you feel vulnerable or self-doubting, she will engulf you in love and solace. She can see your supposed imperfections as mere beloved quirks. She salutes the true spirit in you. Love yourself as Aiko does, and let that love spread outward to your friends, family, and fellow human beings. Let go of judgments, and love. everyone just as they are. So this, I always put a warning with this, but don't mean let people treat you like crap. Um, and I love you anyway. But this is more about, having unconditional love for yourself. Again, living and learning and doing it all with grace and compassion for ourselves, trying to forgive ourselves. Um, can't hang on to guilt, can't hang on to grief, But if we are guilty of something that we need to come clean about, if we need to speak a truth to release that guilt, then indeed we must. And that is showing self-love and self-respect because, again, you're wanting to be a person of integrity, of good character, someone who can be trusted or trustworthy. Um, again, speaking truths will release many burdens that I feel the masculine is carrying within themselves that's making them very unhappy. Um, So love yourself enough to again, want to make these efforts to do something positive for yourself. Get out of your doubts. Um, transmute the pain and failure into blessings and wisdom again, because like I said, everything is a lesson. A lesson we were meant to learn, and however way that came about. Now, in regards to love, speaking of which, we got the lesson. And the clarifier for that is loss. So we realized something when we lost something. We learned a lesson in regards to a relationship that perhaps we jumped into without thinking, and or a relationship that we're wanting to have a new beginning in because we realized what we lost. We've learned a lesson. And we want to weather the storm in regards to this scandal, or you're wondering again if a situation can be healed, if it can change, if it can get better, despite, what has transpired here that was bad. And then we have clarity, clarified by battle. So now we're clear, or we're trying to get clear in our head in regards to our strategy, or how we're going to do this, or what are we going to say. Because we know there's going to be a battle ahead. We might be met with some resistance because we've been behaving in a certain way, which is why we are unsure if we're going to be welcomed back into the fold. Or, if you're not looking to reconcile, which obviously there's reconciliation here, so I won't even say it. I was going to say if you're not, it's just a lesson that you learned and now you move forward. But obviously somebody's looking to reconcile. But we have here hidden enemies clarified by secrets. So either you're feeling like you've been your own worst enemy, which the masculine has been feeling like they've kind of like messed up and they handled things wrong, made bad choices, wrong choices, and maybe they're fearing the unknown or fearing releasing, the truth, not holding back on these secrets because they're fearful of how they're going to be looked at as, a shady character hiding behind the curtain over there. And then we have solitude, clarified by growth, talent, and reconciliation. So either solitude, it's like the hermit. We've gone within. We've realized some lessons. We now know what we want, but we just don't know how to go about to get it. We're fearful if we could even get it. We're feeling still sad and in our lowest and feeling guilty and but we're needing to, shift our perspective, allow things to leave that need to leave and go towards things that we want, recover our own inner strength and courage and belief in ourselves, belief in miracles, do what we got to do, step over the threshold, love thyself, plant the seeds in the gardens that you want to grow. Because we got growth here too. Again, we're thinking or wondering if there's growth potential, if we can try to figure out a way how to reconcile with somebody that we want to go back to. Let us see. Loss. Loss. We have sacerdote in the reverse. In the upright, it's the priest or the psychologist, or it's spiritual guidance, spiritual healing, spiritually based relationship, even soulmate. Again, in the reverse, it's like someone who's corrupt. So again, it's, I don't know, it's like you lost someone because you were behaving in a way that was, you know, self-serving, corrupt in some way. I'll read on the second doctor again. Hold on. Loss. We have denari, which is about financial investments or money or something that we value, or something that's, you know, unknown, like what the result of an investment will be. Lesson, we have melancholia, which is sadness and depression. In the reverse, it's like deep depression. That's too many. Lesson, deep depression over the loss of a relationship, you know, about loyalty and fidelity, you know, being faithful. Maybe there was a lack of that here, and so that's where the situation was lost. La Vecchia Senora, this is someone from the past or unresolved past issues with someone from the past. This was the lesson. Now, again, the sacerdote, the priest, violent or corrupt man, or the law working against you. So I don't know if you got any legal issues, because it's legal troubles as well. But it's a corrupt man, you know, a corrupt behavior, somewhat involved in money. Again, a lot of people are in relationships just for financial reasons. Money issues, debt, loss of money, money not received, the future or something newer is yet not known. So again, perhaps we don't know what the future holds. If all is lost due to our corrupt behavior, we got some money problems now. Can't figure a way out of situation. Again, learn all kinds of lessons over here. Melancholia. Melancholia in the reverse too is debts. You know, no money coming in. It's also sadness, having a loss of heart, regret or loss connected to the past, depression, setbacks, you know, loss of a relationship here, regrets over our past actions. So I said the masculines have been in a pickle for a minute, for sure. And the full sexual attraction, again, maybe we jumped into something without thinking long term. Again, trying to fill a void and meet a need, and now we're feeling stuck in that situation, in that relationship. You know, this was all part of the lesson that we learned. Or again, you know, learning the lesson, it could be in both situations. The past, the present, trying to go back to the past, as I said, you know, in regards to wanting a new beginning, wanting to weather the storm over what's happened, scandal. Mercante, merchant, someone who's at a distance. This deals with contracts, negotiations, and the reversed again, shady dealings. Being shady in our agreements, in our contracts, you know, relationships, marriages even. Leterato, again, this is someone who's lack self-reflection or this is another corrupt kind of card. What the heck is this called? Leterato. Another shady person. It's hold on. Oof, masculine. Terrible. And I speak from experience. Okay. I know all about the shady dealings. Let's see. Leterato. Where is it? Oh, and then we had Morte also in the reverse. This is a relation. This is something that ended badly. This is emotional detachment. It's in the reverse. You know, traumatic or violent ending, spiritual crisis, deep sadness. This is on Scandal. Deep sadness over our actions. Yeah. Mercante, again, shady dealings, illegal financial activity, you know, impractical use of money, again, not being wise with our money, not doing anything to improve our money situation, again, maybe staying stagnant for a long time, not doing anything with ourselves, just being codependent on someone else to pay for stuff. Now that we want to move, we can't move because we don't got our stuff together. So again, you can't. Hey. Problems at work, bad handling of money, impractical use of money, lack of skills, inabilities, general incompetence. That's the Mercante. General incompetence. That's why we're either underweight or overweight. We're all stressed out over our choices and actions. Where is this? Oy. Oh, here it is. Leterato, again, calculating, scheming person. I told you. Shady dealings, calculating, scheming person. This was on Scandal. It's again, it's your behavior was on the shady tip. That's for sure. And as I said, I speak from experience. So I know firsthand. going on here. Battle, let's see, clarity. What do we have clarity on? What do we have clarity on? Clarity. On love. See? Oh, it was a lesson. Something that you needed to learn, and you learned it. You finally gained some clarity in regards to love. Hopefully what healthy love looks like, and how we need to behave in relationships in order to have healthy love, balanced love, not shady dealings, self-serving needs, codependency, At least we got some clarity. I know a lot of feminines are like, praise Jesus. Clarity. Clarity. La Grazia. This is about change, transformation, tactfulness. Perhaps needing to be tactful in our speakings of our truths. This is also like about communication. Our wanting love, to transform, because we gain clarity in regards to what we want. Oops. Battle. We kind of had the same here, Donati in reverse and Melancholy in reverse. So again, maybe financial issues are still an issue. You're feeling depressed or feeling stuck. Let's see. Secrets. Or hidden enemy. Hidden enemy. Letterata, which is the love letter or communication of some kind. It could also be documents, legal documents, divorce papers even. In the reverse, perhaps again, this is expressing our no longer loving someone. Again, especially if we're looking to leave a situation. Hidden enemy, again, maybe where we're going to be viewed as the enemy because we want a divorce or we want to leave something, because we're falling out of love. We're going to express that there's a lack of love in something, or you're wondering if someone views you as the hidden enemy, or if you're looking to reconcile with someone because there's been no communication or bad communication, either on your end or their end or both. Let's see, hidden enemy. This again, little grazia. Irritability, tact, again, maybe being frustrated because you haven't heard from somebody. Or maybe you haven't heard from somebody because the way you handled things wasn't the way you should have. A lot of masculines were not holding themselves accountable, wanting to sweep things under the rug, wanting to downplay things, giving silent treatments, avoiding discussing the issues of what happened, not even looking to really heal a situation in the right way because, again, they wanted to continue wearing masks. They wanted to, again, hide the true nature of the things that they were doing, which were deceptive in nature. You know what you're doing. We'll put it that way. Oh, a hidden enemy. Maybe you're hoping someone's view of you changes. Prigione, but in the reverse, this is about being stuck. It's kind of like eight of swords, being stuck, not knowing what's going to happen. Secrets. Secrets. We had Belvedere trying to have a future outlook or to see into the future, long term. Maybe again this fear of the unknown or wondering if we reveal our secrets, is there anything positive going to come come from it. And then we have Dottore, which is a lawyer or doctor, someone who can solve a problem. It's also about healing. But in the reverse, I forget. Let me look. All right. First, again, the Lala Grazia, lightness, sensitivity, tact, irritability, reckless, irresponsible, impulsive. Again, maybe feeling that we were reckless and impulsive in our choices. Didn't take better care. Well, letter, again, love letter, business letter, written communication, telephone call, text message, document, paperwork, paper money, delayed communication. Again, in the reverse. Prigione, psychic block, fear, unhealthy relationship with someone. This is on hidden enemy. And then the Dottore in the reverse. Wrong diagnosis or wrong choice, right? Something that's not working. Incompetence. So this is on secrets. So in order for us to kind of look towards the future, we have to figure out what's not working and fix it. And it looks like there's communication that's part of the issue. That's why I guess we're trying to figure out a way. And pick a card. See what's the future holds for your possible career path. I was going to say, what the hell is the book? Okay, first one. Oh my God. Builder. It's an hour and 27 minutes. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. So this is about putting in efforts, planting seeds. You know, you might have something that you can do, your own business. Here, your inherent interest in structure and architecture has led you to develop an eye for design and skillful construction. You're naturally inquisitive and you want to understand the mechanics and engineering secrets behind everything. To you, a beautiful building is a testament to humankind's creative abilities. Your soul longs to create because your sole purpose is to build. You love new projects that you can sink your teeth into, especially when you can merge plans with creativity. Even if you're not involved in literally erecting a structure, you may enjoy building automobiles, computers, gadgets, airplanes, other machinery. You're also good at starting new ventures, and you enjoy a healthy balance of leadership qualities along with teamwork's ability. You drew this card as encouragement to explore new ways to be a builder. For example, you can build a successful business from scratch, or your inner guidance may direct you to build muscles as you get more involved with physical fitness. The sense of accomplishment you receive from building something is your soul's reward. And the second card is flowers. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. Maybe send some flowers to the person you want to. Let's see. This card signifies your special connection to flowers whose fragrance, color, and beauty provide healing blessings. You know, perhaps maybe you're an elemental that was reincarnated and you have a strong bond with nature. So that's why this kind of comes into play. As you grow, admire, photograph, and work with blossoms, so too does your connection with the divine blossom. Your affinity for flowers is just beginning, and spending time along with them will help every part of your life bloom. You may literally work with flowers, for example, as a gardener, a florist, or flower essence healer. Or it may be that spending personal time with these lovely features of the natural world sparks your creative ideas about a new career path. So whether your relationship with flowers is destined to become a career or an avocation, spend time with them today. Walk through a flower shop and notice which color bloom you're drawn to. This flower holds healing properties that you need right now. If possible, take it home and spend time absorbing its color and fragrance. Trust the flower's wisdom and power to help you upon your life purpose pathway. These are actually flower healing cards. See, I kind of use that in there. And then the last one, trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. Trust. The angels send you this card as validation that your feelings are trustworthy guides as you aspire to make healthy life changes. Your dreams and desires are clues to your life purpose as your soul calls out to you through the language of feelings. If you're discontent in any situation, trust these feelings. If you're excited about the prospect of, for example, returning to school or opening your own business, trust these feelings. If your gut is warning you about a certain person in your life, trust these feelings. The first step is to notice your feelings. You do so by creating some quiet time alone where you can talk with yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what do I really want? And what is best for my life purpose? And then notice the physical and emotional feelings that come in response. Your feelings are the physical embodiment of heaven's guidance for you. Trust in their validity, even if you don't understand them or feel certain about what they mean. And I can attest to that. Intuition. Even if you can't understand it, the truth will come in, and the truth shall set you free. And on that note, my lovelies, I wish you love and light, healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave comments, as always. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.